Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, lovers of freedom. Ndewonu, ndewonu, Moshukwu. We are here live once more. We are live once again at this moment. This is Nelly's TV. Please, if you come in, do not hesitate to click the like button, share and subscribe. Call your friends to join this broadcast. Ndewonu, ndewonu. All hail Biafrans, all hail Biafra. All hail Biafra, Biafra we hail. We want to thank God Almighty for today, for His grace and mercy. We appreciate Him for His divine protection. We thank Him for His grace, for how He's helping us pushing this struggle, for His handwork upon the struggle of Biafra, for the recognition which is the stage we are now. We thank Elohim for His good work, His marvelous work. And He that started it will accomplish it. He will complete what He has started right from the time immemorial. He will not fail us. He has never failed. We pray that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, tomorrow being 20th, that He will show His mercy again as the God of justice, the God in heaven. He will show His justice and shame Omotosho and those that send him on errand. Oge emeri ndị iro echi niile wu 20th. Jehova ga-anụ ọgụ ya, ọ ga-anọkwa n'oche ezi ya wee gosi ihe o ji wee bụrụ chi. Nigeria nọ n'ihere and ihere ga na-eme ha. Every now and then, anytime Nigeria pụtara n'ọgbọ, ha ga-eburu ihere. Ha ga-eburu ihere na ekete wee laa. Mgbe ọbụla ha pụtara n'ọgbọ wu Nigeria, ihere ga-abụ nke ha. And otu a ka ọ na-emekwanụ. Otu a ka ọ na-eme ebe niile Nigeria pụtara n'ọgbọ, ihere ga-abụ nke ha, because not a failed country ka ọ wụ. It is an ex-Nigeria. It's a failed state. A country na-ejighị ndị a na-echekwa wee kpọrọ ihe. How can ka otu country ahụ ga-esi wee na-eme exist? Every country na-echekwa the citizens. Every country protects her citizens. Mana Nigeria mere their citizens vulnerable to foreigners, to invaders. Were their citizens made vulnerable to terrorists. And you think that country can survive? Mbanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa, Jehovah ga-anọnyere gị. Anytime you go to court, you will get justice. He say, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, Jehovah mere gị amara, nye gị amamihe pụrụ iche, nye gị mmeri pụrụ iche. Don't be moved with all these sycophants for ndị na-achọ Biafra. Don't be moved for their propaganda. Don't shake. You have gotten recognition already. Do not shake. All right? Excuse me. Do not move. Because we are now on the ball. You are holding the ball. Be focused on the goal. We are here to do the needful. All right? Ndewonu. All Genoice Biafrans, may God bless each and every one of us and grant us the resources to support this freedom. Makana onwego onye ga-emere anyị. This is our time to shine. This is our time to go home. Ndewonu. Before we continue, let us play jingle in support of tomorrow's court case for the freedom of Ohamadike one of Africa. All right. All right. All right. All right. Greetings once more. Greetings once again. They want to please, as you come in, click the like button, share and subscribe. Because no. The more you click the like button, the more it will help this broadcast to go viral. It will help the platform to grow. All right. So ka ọ dịkwa ka anyị na-eme. Ndewonu. Okay. Na-atụfugo oge, we are here to always ị na-agba ndị Nigeria n'anwụ na nzuzu ha. They think that na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu n'otu ha ji ya na ahụ ga-afọ ha. He told them that if you arrest him the second time, if Nigeria arrests him the second time, that Nigeria will disintegrate. Mana anaghị anụ ntị ọkwa Nigeria. Ha sị na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu amaghị na that he is an anointed man. He is an anointed man. They would have been asking, what kind of human being is this? Let us align with this man so that Kodiri Hanama, even if no a neighboring country, at least Ngozane Fesiha. But they are Arurana, no Biojo, and I hate her. Who is this now? Oh God. All right, sorry about that. So, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu gwara ha agwa that anytime they try to arrest him the second time, Nigeria will disintegrate. And it is happening. And the more they try to cover their shame, the more they expose their iberibe. The more they come out to cover the genocide, which is happening and is still happening in Nigeria, the more the more they show na ha di iberibe. Okay, so before we go further, let us talk about this thing. Now, emere cube na Nigeria, the cube nkonye ọwụ na ama, which ha bodoro with media, ha bodo ya no Igbo cube. Okay, ihe a na-eme ugbu a was what they wanted to do. What is happening now is what the Fulani jihadists wanted to do at that time. So this is what they wanted to do. That is why they were bold to tell you that they will soak their Quran in Atlantic Ocean then. And they are still saying it vehemently. So in that 1966 cube, ha ji wee tọọ ọnụ asị nọ Igbo cube. Gee nụ ntị ihe mereni. Mgbe ha pụtara wee na-eme kọnka na ndị ha mere kọnka. So with the help of ndị Britain, ha were Fulanis, okay, ndị mbụtara with Uthman Danfodo. You know that Uthman Danfodo is a Guinea from Gambia. He's from Gambia. Oh, Nigeria, no. So within the Ojiwebia jihadists, all of them, after ha mere conquer, so Britain wee nyere ha aka. Unu makwano otu asi wee nye ha great number in census ka ha were mee weaken other parts. So at that time, they were putting Fulanis, putting them in the helm of affairs, more especially in military. And they were posting them in different parts of the region. In 1966, they were positioning Fulanis. Ihe ha na-eme ugbu a. is what they did then, because their plan was to round up Nigeria then, to capture Nigeria with the jihadists. So they were putting their people in the helm of affairs, in the military. They never, in everywhere, were opposed to sha ebe niile dị iche iche. O nwere video m gosiri ebe a sometime. That was even why they started even buying Igbos and Christians. They would ask you, what religion? Are you an Igbo? What religion? That was when they started buying them, even before the war. Because they were trying to see how they can suppress the Igbos in order to round up Nigeria. Mana ndị a Nzọgụ hụtara this thing on time. They saw what they were, where they were going. And you know then, Nigerian military, in fact, mgbe ndị mmadụ na-eche ezigbote uche, it is when people were reasoning well in Nigeria. It is when the good people were in military. It was when they were patriotic about the country, to save the country. All right? So when they saw the handwriting on the wall, when they saw what was about to happen, they said no. And that action was to save Nigeria. This same Nigeria, now they are battling to save, to be won again. That was what Nzọgụ did to save Nigeria from the hands of the Fulanis, to save Nigeria from being captured as a slave country. It has been the work of an Igbo man to save Nigeria. Even this Ojukwu, whom they are accusing, Ojukwu Luraga, Ojukwu went to war, Ojukwu led the war. Ojukwu did not support Nzọgụ. Ojukwu was in Kaduna and was heading a battalion. He was heading a battalion in Kaduna, which ya bụrụ no ọ chọbụrụ n'izizi, onweghị ihe emetere ya. He was not in support of Nzọgụ. He was still in the spirit of keeping Nigeria one, hoping that Nzọgụ was doing the wrong thing, but not knowing that all these things was to save Nigeria. And it wasn't only Nzọgụ that led that coup. Even Mandi Hausa so, Mandi Yoruba so. But because of hatred, because they saw Igbos as light, as opposition, that would not want them to carry out their evil plan, Hatagaya Igbo cube, just to weaken the region. He were news way boya, more especially BBC na UK. So akwa ha na-ebu ugbu a ihe ha chọrọ ime before. Okay? Maka ndị na-apụta na-akpọ ndị Igbo aha. Now, since then, you people have been ruling Nigeria. Some have gone three rounds, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. An Igbo man has not ruled Nigeria. Makande say that Igbos are power drunk. They want power by all means. Like that, in case not for when you primate. Okoputago na abia made damage control. Why is he doing damage control? Because when he came, he said what he wants to say now. He has no apology. Whoever wants to get angry should get angry. If you want to attack him, will attack him. But where is he coming? Yes, now prelate, and he stood in the church to make this thing. But he's now coming to make damage control, lying again. A prelate for that matter. A prelate for that matter. He's still lying. When Igbos have been trying to keep this country one, yet Hachogia. Now let us go, Unajo. Okay. Recently, ka ọ na-ada wo mmere ji wee shuo Amusa na plotụrụ cube upload kwa this one, and zogide the list were leak ye, and when the list leaked, wee hụ nọ ndị Fulani plotụrụ that cube. 9 of them were Fulanis. 10 people, 9 of them were Fulanis. Top. Unakananu okwu cube ahụ, they have suppressed it. They have suppressed that cube. Onwezi going to ekwu okwu ya. They are not talking about it. Mana wuru na onye Igbo so bụ na that cube. If there was an Igbo man, even if he's a single person, out of that 9 from the Fulanis, or out of 8 from the Fulanis and the one from the other side, you will see how they will be magnifying that. Okay, now put on social media. Ha ga-asịsị na oyi Igbo kpọrọ ndị ọzọ sị ha ka ha mee ya. But now they have buried it under the carpet because na Fulani are involved. The government has buried it under the carpet. They are not. It's not an issue again for them. Why? Because an Igbo man is not involved. An Igbo man is not involved. But this is the Fulani plot. This is the coup plotted by Fulani. It is the plot, the cube plotted by Fulani. Man, onye wu problem ha wu ndị Igbo. Onye wu problem ha wu ndị Igbo. That is how Nigerian government na-eche echiche ka anụmanụ. Otu ha si eche echiche ka anụmanụ ka ndị na-enweghị uche. Okay? Now, I'm telling us, the more they come up to cover their lies, the more they are being exposed. The more they go to negotiate with bandits, the more and again attack. Iko Nigeria ejugo. Even the recent one, they didn't know that the camera was on. Makandi Nabiana defended that it is not a genocide. It's not targeted against Christians. Why going to church to attack people? Let us play this news. Go no how a foreign minister, yes, now a foreign minister. Ndi Fulani na gadoro. Fulani, hey, Shineken. Ndi Fulani na gadoro. These people can lie. They can lie with every last blood in their stream. I hope Mundi na to ase kandi Fulani. I hope him. They think that they can that they can remedy Nigeria. The more they do it, the more they are showing their weakness to the world. The more they are showing their weakness to the world. Let us play this interview. Emere, the minister of the foreign affairs minister, a Fulani man,
Nicki Minaj will address the United Nations later today alongside US Ambassador Mike Waltz. The Queen of Rap is not often seen at the UN. She's speaking out because, like so many people at the moment, she's extremely alarmed about what is happening in Nigeria. It's the most populous country in Africa and one of its wealthiest, but it's fair to say it hasn't traditionally been a big subject for Western media or the US podcast circuit until recently. Just over a month ago, HBO's Bill Maher said this.
If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Many prominent figures are now raising the issue. Senator Ted Cruz wrote since 2009, over 50,000 Christians in Nigeria have been massacred. It's a result of decisions made by specific people in specific places at specific times. The United States knows who those people are. A series of stories have followed on major US networks, including Fox, whose interviews on the subject were said to have angered President Trump. The US leader is now threatening Nigeria with, in his words, sweet military action, choosing not to rule out both airstrikes and boots on the ground. He's also threatening to withhold more than $1 billion in US aid. Just this weekend, government abducted 25 girls from a high school in Nigeria. Boko Haram is being blamed. Understandably, I wanted to find out more about all of this. I expected the Nigerian government to be addressing the situation with urgency and invited the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Yusuf Tuggar, to appear on the show. There was a bit of a bad line, but I'm sure that you and many in the White House will find what followed pretty extraordinary.
Also, was haben wir heute vor? Ganz schnell gehe ich durch die wichtigen SEO-Grundlagen, damit wir alle dieselbe Sprache sprechen. Dann werde ich euch auch meine persönliche...
Well, joining me now is the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Tuggar. Welcome to you, Foreign Minister. I appreciate you joining Uncensored.
Thank you for having me, Piers.
So, a simple question. If somewhere between 50 and 100,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009, depending on which bit of data you want to take up, and 18,000 Christian churches have been destroyed, why isn't it, as some people are claiming, a genocide against Christians in Nigeria?
Well, to begin with, those figures are completely and totally inaccurate and false. And many in the media have examined them, they fact-checked them. So they come from Inter-Society and Open Doors, and they've been shown to be totally inaccurate. What we have in Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, multi-religious country of 230 million people. Our nation-building project is not an easy one. We have suffered from the effects of things that we have no control over, exogenous factors such as the breaking up of the Libyan state, the killing of Gaddafi, the proliferation of weapons and fighters that have cascaded down to the northern fringes of Nigeria and beyond, and have affected the entire region.
Legodi this man, ajụrụ ya ajụjụ. Kama ọ ga-aza ihe ajụrụ ya, ọ hapụ ihe ajụrụ ya na-ekwu ihe ọzọ. To start with, Ojasi wee bido. He started with lies. How can you deny that Nenwegu Christian genocide? How can you deny not only the whole world now that facts and figures that it is exaggerated? Manajorogi na ndi Fulani na-aga. You are here, you started with lies and you are diverting the interview. Anajogi, let's go.
The failure of the EU Sahel strategy over the years. These are all things that we are suffering the effects of. And we do have Boko Haram in the Lake Chad region that affects not just Nigeria, but 3 other countries.
Let me
Niger,
start again so
Chad.
that you people will hear the question of this man. The question is a straightforward question, and he is going round and round and round. Instead of a question, opido with lies. Opido with lies. Na to lies. Na Ghana, Libya, na Ghana, telling people that now what is happening is the war in Libya after the killing of Gaddafi. The people that were terrorizing Libya now came to Nigeria. And if they came to Nigeria, what is Nigerian government doing about it? That they are the people that came to Nigeria to come and be causing problem in Nigeria? Yes. Let's assume that it is true. then you as a country that have military, have everything, what are you doing to stop people from a different country that came to your country to come and cause problem, according to what you are trying to narrate? Eh? So anybody can come from, which is true what you are saying, that these people are not Nigerians. They are from different country. And this man, this Fulani man, is not a Nigerian. On this Soro, Uthman Danfodo, but with jihad. Most of them from Gambia, from Senegal, from Chad, from Niger, from Libya. And that is why they are not stopping them. Even Buhari, the late Buhari, is from Niger. The late Buhari is from Niger. He is also not a Nigerian, and he made it known to people. He made it known to people that his family, his family members in Niger. This is how people from different countries, but are in Nigeria, now cause a problem. The real citizens. The Nigeria government is not doing anything, and he is here to say lie. He is here to pass, to deny the fact, because they are the one involved. Their plan was that 2026 they will capture West Africa with their jihadism.
With urgency and invited the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Yusuf Tuggar, to appear on the show. There was a bit of a bad line, but I'm sure that you and many in the White House will find what followed pretty extraordinary. Well, joining me now is the Nigerian Foreign Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Tuggar. Welcome to you, Foreign Minister. I appreciate you joining Uncensored.
Thank you for having me, Piers.
So a simple question. If somewhere between 50 and 100,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009, depending on which bit of data you want to take up, and 18,000 Christian churches have been destroyed, why isn't it, as some people are claiming, a genocide against Christians in Nigeria?
Well, to begin with, those figures are completely and totally inaccurate and false. And many in the media have examined them, they fact-checked them. So they come from Inter-Society and Open Doors, and they've been shown to be totally inaccurate. What we have in Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, multi-religious country of 230 million people. Our nation building project is not an easy one. We have suffered from the effects of things that we have no control over, exogenous factors such as the breaking up of the Libyan state, the killing of Gaddafi, the proliferation of weapons and fighters that have cascaded down to the northern fringes of Nigeria and beyond, and have affected the entire region. The failure of the EU Sahel strategy over the years. These are all things that we are suffering the effects of. And we do have Boko Haram in the Lake Chad region that affects not just Nigeria, but 3 other countries, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon, that we've been contending with through the multinational joint task force that allows the troops of the countries in the region to pursue the terrorists. 50,000 insurgents and people that were caught in the region of the insurgency having surrendered, and we were in the course of processing them, and some were being rehabilitated, others were being processed through the legal system when Niger had to pull out because of the failure of the EU Sahel strategy and the military coup that was experienced in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali.
look, you've made it clear that you believe these numbers are wildly exaggerated. The International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law is a non-governmental organisation that monitors and tracks human rights abuses across Nigeria. In its report in August, it said jihadist groups, including Boko Haram and ISIS in Nigeria, had killed over 100,000 Christians in the last 16 years. It also noted that 60,000 moderate Muslims have been killed in that period too. Now, I guess my obvious question to you is, if it's not 100,000, then how many Christians have been murdered since 2009? And if it's not 18,000 Christian churches that have been destroyed, how many is it?
We in Nigeria have Christians, we have Muslims, we have atheists, we have animists, and when we're counting death tolls, we don't necessarily go by religion, and quite often it's difficult to even identify what religion an individual that has just lost their lives belongs to. And what we are concerned about is that they are Nigerians first and foremost. And we've seen these sort of agitations by faith-based organizations that is a prelude to the breaking up, to the dismemberment of countries. We've seen it in Sudan. We know this playbook. It's happened. There were agitations to create South Sudan, which was expected to be a predominantly Christian country, separate from North Sudan, which is meant to be a Muslim country. Now we have a situation where there's fighting, continuous fighting in South Sudan. There's another round about to kick off. The same thing in the North Sudan.
Okay,
where
but let me
the
interrupt.
supposed Muslim fighting each other. So we don't want to be the next Sudan. We will not allow ourselves to be the next Sudan.
No,
Where
I understand
are the
that.
faith-based groups that were agitating for Sudan to be dismembered? They're no longer there to fix Sudan.
Okay.
Not North, not South.
Okay.
It's Nigeria as a member of the Peace
Let me jump in, if I may.
With the heavy lifting.
Foreign Minister, if I may, I'd like to jump in if I.
Ọ na-ekwu o kwezighị akwụsị ajụrụ gị. Now you are denying the fact that the number are being inflated, that the number is exaggerated. Ajụzie gị, what number do you think is correct? Ọ hapụzi ihe ajụrụ ya wee kọwazi ihe ọzọ ọ na-akọ, kwụsị okweghị akwụsị. You see how these people can lie through their both mouths. Ihe ọbụla Fulani batara, any government in Fulani dị in charge, that country is gone. That country is gone. Okay?
Because you do seem to be avoiding my questions.
Okay.
You know, you don't seem to know how many Christians have been murdered, which I find surprising.
I'm not.
Well, you haven't given me any. You've told me you don't know.
I'm not avoiding
Well, with respect, sir, you have not given.
Nigerians. So
no,
many
I know what you said.
May not necessarily
I understand.
Same as those that.
But you are, yes. But what you're saying, if you could let me speak, what you're saying is that you dispute the numbers of Christians that have been reported to have been killed, but you have no idea how many Christians have been killed. What we surely can agree on is how many Christian churches have been destroyed. Do you know how many?
Yes, I do.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Don't let the IRS target you. Call the professionals at Tax Network USA. Their top tax lawyers and enrolled agents are experts in the powerful programs that can help you to eliminate your tax debt. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved more than $1 billion for their clients. Whether you owe thousands or millions, one phone call can start the process of taking control. But you need to act now while you have options. For a free consultation, call Tax Network USA today at 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/peers. Don't let the IRS be the first to act.
If you want to play like this, you do not need to be doing this forever.
over the last 2 years, there have been 52 churches, depending on which region, again, you are referring to, because there are different regions in Nigeria, and there are, I can give you the figures right here now.
Okay.
So,
well, how many since
we
2009?
have, since 2009, since the last 5 years, the attacks, not destroyed, attacks on churches 102.
Also, attacks, not destroyed. This thing and since 1992 ko bidoro. Since 1992 ka bidoro this their jihadism. The second time. Also, attacks, not destroyed. On akpo 52 churches. Hey, nah, the Fulani.
So we're not hiding any figures, you see. It's important to understand this. Same way that there are mosques that are destroyed. I don't even have to mention that. Nigeria is configured in such a way that you have Muslim and Christian populations all across the country. There are, of course, states out of the 36 states that we have that have a high concentration of Christians, the same way that there are states where you have a high concentration of Muslims. Take, for example, the more recent attacks that have brought about an intensifying of this false narrative that there's some persecution, or as the likes of Bill Maher even go as far as to say, a genocide. The ground
well, it's
zero
actually
for that
more than
would
Bill
be
Maher.
Benue State.
If I may jump in again. If I may play you.
Of Benue State.
No, I understand.
But
If I may
finish this.
If I may jump in, sorry.
No, if I can just finish this. If I can just finish this, sorry. The governor of Benue State happens to be a man of the cloth. He's a reverend father. He's a Catholic. So you can see how it is not impossible for him to be concealing what is happening. He would be screaming at the top of his voice if indeed there was some genocide, or if there was some specific...
Because you people have bought him. This man, just imagine. Because the governor of Benue State, who is a reverend father, is not talking. Does it mean that there is no genocide? What about the bishop that is talking? And what about other people that are talking? That same Benue State, what about when Governor Utom was talking? What about when Governor Utom, the then governor of Benue State, was talking? That is a You think that this man that doesn't know what is happening? Ikune Jugo. That is how you people will be. The more you try to patch up, the more the more you expose your ignorance. This is a minister of foreign affairs, foreign affairs minister. Onya, this Fulani man. Gini wa aha ya biko onye mana aha this man nyere m aka. I don't know his name, but it's like the interviewer called his name, but I've forgotten.
Calculated targeting of Muslims, of Christians, but he knows there isn't, and that is why he is not doing so.
But let me play you a clip from President Donald Trump about this.
If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns are blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities. I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. These are cherished people. These are great people. Leave them alone. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast before it's too late. If they don't, there's going to be hell to pay.
So what is your message to President Trump, who obviously completely disagrees with you?
My message is that we have the utmost respect for the United States of America. We have, by extension, the utmost respect for its president, President Trump. It's unfortunate that President Trump has been misinformed by those that
he said that it's unfortunate that President Trump has been misinformed. Trump has been misinformed? Like, seriously?
Trade in generalized labelings, and unfortunately, it has resulted in this statement. We urge that the engagement that is ongoing continues so that we will provide more information and clarity. We are not the ground for either a jihad nor a crusade. Nigerians have lived in peace, relative peace with each other for a very, very long period of time. We are the people that populate the confluence of the rivers Niger and Benue, and we will continue to do so. And it's important to be mindful of the complexity of the Nigerian state. It is a multi-diverse state in so many regards, and it is an ally of the US because we've worked successfully together in the past. And we actually appreciate what President Trump has done in the past when other subsequent US administrations would not sell Tucano jet fighters to us, planes, aircraft to us. President Trump acquiesced to that. Some of the things that we're experiencing at the moment have a direct linkage to the application of the Leahy Law to countries like Nigeria, where they were deprived of weapons to maintain peace at home and help also maintain peace in the region. This is why we continue to experience terrorism in the region, in the Sahel region. Whereas in the past, when we worked successfully together with the US, you could see what Nigeria was able to achieve. We resettled Sierra Leone, we resettled Liberia successfully, and our multinational joint task force
Minister, I'm interrupting
was very
you.
effective in the fight against terrorism. Until
Minister, just stay there for a moment, if you will, because joining me now is the former Canadian MP Goldie Gamari, host of the Goldie Show, who has spoken out frequently at what she says is a genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Goldie Gamari, welcome to Uncensored. What is your response to the Foreign Minister of Nigeria, who says there is no genocide? The numbers of those who've been killed, number of churches attacked, has been wildly exaggerated.
Well, first of all, Pierce, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. Pierce, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it probably is a duck. There is a reason that we're seeing these Islamic militants going around and yelling Allahu Akbar. That's not by coincidence. There's a reason that they are attacking Christians on Christmas Eve. Let's not forget that back in 2014, almost 300 Christian schoolgirls were kidnapped by these Islamic militants. 80 of them, their whereabouts are still unknown. Pierce, what's happening in Nigeria is jihad. It's the exact same thing that happened on October 7 by Islamists when they broke into Israel and murdered Jews, yelling Allahu Akbar. It's the exact same thing that ISIS terrorists did to the Yazidis in Iraq. It's the exact same thing that happened in Lebanon. Pierce, the only difference between what's happening today in Nigeria versus what happened 1,400 years ago when the Muslim Arab invaders came to Persia is that back then people did not have cameras, but today they do. It is 100% jihad. We've seen it before. This is how the Islamist playbook always happens.
Exactly, my sister. Exactly, Wanyoma. They did it. I think that's where I started. What they did 100 years ago is what they are repeating now. They were doing it in all these places, which Nigeria was also inclusive. And on here leading to the cube upload to stop them. Igbo cube. This girl is very, very informed that what is happening is jihad. Okay? But this man's now foreign minister is here lying blatantly. Lying blatantly. This is a young girl. She's a politician in Canada. Telling you, give one question, you don't know it, and you're lying greatly. As you get the number, this is how these people lie. But the prophecy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming real. Nigeria is ex-Nigeria. It's ex-Nigeria. All right?
Well, I don't think that the foreign minister was denying that bad things have been happening. He's just denying that it constitutes a genocide, and that the numbers of reported
because his
deaths
government
of
is a part of it.
Of murders of Christians.
I think his government is complicit. Right now, you have an Islamist government in Nigeria. One of the things that he didn't mention to you is that typically it's been a constitutional convention in Nigeria that if the prime minister is Muslim, then if the president is Muslim, then the vice president is Christian. If the president is Christian, then the vice president is Muslim. This is intended to have a proper representation of the Nigerian population. Right now, you have a Muslim president, and then they decided to choose a Muslim vice president, and so there is actually no Christian representation in the Islamist government. By the way, this is a government that is working closely behind the scenes with the Islamic Republic of Iran. You should ask the foreign minister why Nigerian school children are holding pictures of the Ayatollah, who is a brutal dictator and is murdering my people in Iran. People need to look into the linkages between the current Nigerian government and the Islamic Republic of Iran. I was a politician for 7 years, Pierce, and I can tell when someone is lying and avoiding the truth. That's exactly what this foreign minister is doing, and shame on him for lying.
Exactly. He knows when somebody is lying and when somebody is saying the truth. Shame on you. This girl, just 7 years that she has been in the politics. But to you that have been running around in politics from beginning to the end, you cannot say the truth. And he's telling you, giving you info. That you people were acting, there was no camera, there was no media, but now there is camera, there is media to capture all your atrocities. You are lying. Shame on you. Your daughter is telling you boldly, shame on you, because you people will keep disgracing yourself. Shit whole country.
Foreign Minister, your response to that?
With all due respect to the lady, I'm sorry, I forget her name. She has already exposed her ignorance and lack of knowledge about Nigeria, and it's easy for her to sit thousands of miles away and play games with people's lives. These are real
I'm not
lives
the one playing games with people's lives. 7,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. 7,000 Christians have been murdered.
Now, this man and this girl, who is playing games on people's life now? Takia actually na how Nigeria that they can use Takia to shut up. This man in what is his name? This foreign affairs minister and this Canadian young lady, a politician also, who is now playing with people's life. Is it you that said that you don't even know the number? Foreign minister, onye na-ekwu ọkwa ya nwana representing Nigeria in the whole world. Nwunye Ojukwu second ya. Nke ahụ another isi egburu egbu. Nke ahụ wụkwa another brutufuo enyere ya position ya wụrụ against her own people. Her own people. Ọ chọrọ Simon Ekpa gawa Finland to tell Europe to hold Simon Ekpa. Or assignment ha nyere ya. Onye away representing Nigeria in the whole world. Look at how he is presenting. That is blatantly lying. You and this girl who is playing over the lives of people. You don't even know the number of people that are being died in your country. You see that what is happening in Nigeria is attack, not destruction. Hey.
lives. These are real
I'm not the
lives we're
one playing
talking about.
games with
Real
people's lives.
to-
7,000
Please
Christians
do
have
not
been
interrupt
murdered
me. Do
in
not interrupt me.
Nigeria.
I do not interrupt
7,000
you.
Christians have been
And,
murdered in Nigeria. Who's playing games with people's
does
lives?
not
It's
even
not
know
me.
whether Nigeria has a president or a prime minister. You can see how she's waffling, she's stumbling. But this is typical of
I think you're showing your own ignorance. The fact that you're not able to actually counter what I'm saying, and instead you're going after these things that are irrelevant, that just shows how ignorant you are.
Saber rattling, trade in saber rattling. It is typical. You can see she's exposing herself. She doesn't even know the country that she's trying to start a crusade on, and drawing comparisons with Gaza. You know, it's clear what she's trying to do. We have a constitution that has, go and read my constitution before you even try to have a discussion with me. Look up sections 10, 38, and 42 of our constitution. There is federal character enshrined in our constitution. It's part and parcel of it. And the priority is the region where you come from, because we don't identify ourselves as Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. We identify ourselves from regions, geopolitical regions.
Christians disagree.
Place where we come from, and
but do you accept? All right, Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister, let me jump in. Let me jump in. Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister. Do you? Foreign Minister, if I may. If I may. Foreign Minister, if I may. If I may.
Because he's lying. He doesn't want people to say the truth. That's why I'm watching on. This guy have told you that why the president is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim. The government is not balanced. In a country, you say that you have populated Muslims, populated Christians, and then tickets of vice and president are all Muslims. So that it is not balanced. So Christians are not represented. That's why the girl is telling you that is you that is playing over the people's life, because you are here to lie. You don't even know the number of people that have been died in your country. And you say you are a foreign minister. Hey, India. All they want is power, just for them to achieve jihadism. Lenia, what I na-asị gị that onye oshi wụ gị na-achọ ha n'ikwu okwu, ọ sị gị legodo onye oshi a, onye akwụna, ọ sị gị before gị na-ekwu, ọ sị gị achawo onye this man na-eme. Ọ na-eme accuse this girl na akwụrụ ya ụgwọ. He's accusing this girl na akwụrụ ya ụgwọ to come and do this. You just imagine a politician. Because they know that they are paying IRAs. They are paying IRAs to come to the social media to come and be saying now all the IRAs they paid, where are they to talk about the plot, the coup Fulanis plotted in Nigeria? They are not propagating it because I'm not even have one day mad on social media. That's why I want to accuse this girl.
Minister, if I may, Foreign Minister, if I may, Foreign Minister, do you accept that there is a big problem? You know, we can quibble over precise numbers, but you've already said by your own numbers, over 100 Christian churches have been attacked. You won't commit to how many Christians have been killed. I think you're slightly hiding behind the fact you don't know what all their religion was. But you must know how many people have been killed.
I can give you figures. You did not ask me. I can give you figures of those that lost their lives
How many Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009?
Since over the last 5 years, I can categorically tell you that 177 have been killed. And it does not mean that the killing.
But you said to me,
this girl the surprise. That is all the surprise near this man.
Hey. So you said to me earlier. You said to me earlier you did.
Because
Yeah, but
we
hang
have
on,
Boro-
hang on,
we
Foreign
have
Minister, with
Bororo,
respect,
Fulani
with
are
respect,
not Muslims. They are not necessarily Muslims.
Foreign
So
Minister,
people need to understand that.
Foreign Minister, with respect, earlier when I asked you that question, you said you didn't know the number because many of the people who've been killed, you didn't know what religion they were. So which is it?
Yes, so I am telling you, number killed when churches were attacked. I told you the number of the churches that were attacked.
Now, how many
over the
Christians?
last
You misunderstood
5
my
years,
question.
102.
How many?
Number
I want to
killed,
know. I want to know.
177.
Yes, but Foreign Minister, you have had United States senators like Ted Cruz saying publicly that at least 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. If you're saying that number is wildly exaggerated, what is the number?
Okay. Hey, Chineke. Now, wow.
I keep giving you the numbers, but clearly, you are not.
You're not. You're giving me the
inclined
numbers since in the last 5 years.
Accept the numbers or to even listen to what I'm saying. 102, 177, number injured 98, number abducted 7.
Jesus.
Okay, so we are not hiding any facts. But as I
Number
said,
adopted 7.
we don't go about trying to identify a Nigerian's faith when they've lost their lives. That is
But
not.
do you
that is not
condemn?
what
Do
Nigeria
you
is
condemn,
about.
Foreign Minister? Do you condemn? Do you condemn the attacks and the murder on Christians by Islamist groups in Nigeria?
Absolutely, 100%. I lost my father-in-law to an attack by an Islamic terrorist group, Boko Haram. So I myself am a victim. I've lost family members to attacks. And they were Muslims. But it doesn't matter whether they're Muslim or Christian, because their aim is to kill, to maim, so that they would achieve their objectives. And the number one enemy of Boko Haram is not a Christian. It is a Muslim who does not subscribe to their own brand of Islam.
How can you say?
Okay, I mean,
how can you say that 7 were adopted? Apart from the 100 people, Unujiweme destabilized Good Luck, because you know that Good Luck was to stop that terrorism. All of them were against Good Luck. What about these 25 that just happened recently? These 25 guests, Unuka just Nogeme adopt. Or 7.
Goldie Gamari, let me bring you back in there. I mean, there's no doubt that tens of thousands of moderate Muslims have also been murdered by Islamists. We can argue, till the cows come home, frankly, about what the exact numbers are. But clearly, a lot of Christian churches have been attacked. So have a lot of mosques, where it is believed that the people who are, observing their faith there are too moderate for the Islamists. So it seems like the Islamist groups like Boko Haram, like ISIS, are targeting pretty much anybody that they don't agree with, be that moderate Muslims or Christians. Is this not, as the Foreign Minister is putting forward, a case of it's not just Christians being targeted and persecuted, it's also moderate Muslims, and that there's a general wider problem with Islamist terrorism?
Well, there is definitely a problem with Islamist terrorism, but just because Muslims are being murdered, it does not negate the fact that there is a targeted ethnic cleansing of Christian Nigerians. One does not negate the other. What we can conclude from this is that there is definitely an Islamist problem. Now, one thing that the Nigerian minister is purposefully forgetting to put out there is that it's not just Boko Haram, it's also the Fulani militants. Not a lot of people know about the Fulani militants. The Fulani Islamists are also the ones who are generally targeting the Christian Nigerians, especially in the Plateau Belt. And I've had several Nigerian Christians come on and speak about this. In fact, I have seen videos where you have the Fulani militants, on their motorcycles with machetes. They're driving through various towns, and you have them the Nigerian military, who's supposed to prevent them from going, they're getting orders to stand down and allow the Fulani militants to go through. Again, Pierce, the loss of life is horrible. But as you can tell from the minister, he's avoiding questions, he's avoiding eye contact. Instead of actually answering the questions, he's focusing more on trying to attack me and trying to, go after me because I'm not as familiar with the Constitution. I don't need to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to understand that, over 50,000 Christians have been murdered since 2009. I don't have to be familiar with the Constitution of Nigeria to know that when someone yells Allahu Akbar before they massacre 200 Christians and burn Christian churches, that's not just banditry, that's jihad. And I think the reason that the foreign minister does not want to admit this is because they are somehow complicit in this. And, he is purposely saying that he is willfully ignorant, because how could the Nigerian government not know if those people who have been murdered are Christian or Muslim? The reason that he's avoiding saying that is because if they actually put out formal numbers about the numbers of Christians targeted and murdered, then they will have to admit that there is a genocide. They don't want to admit that there's a genocide, but that's exactly what's happening. And I'm glad President Trump and others are calling it out.
Foreign Minister, finally, your response to that.
Well, like I said, the lady and people like her trade in starting wars in faraway places where they have no contact, they have no understanding of, and they can do that from their armchairs from a safe distance. It's a real life situation. This lady would not know the difference between a Fulani man, a Tiv man, an Igbo man, if they stood in front of her. But you can see clearly overnight, because it pays, she's probably making money out of it.
Actually, I'm getting $0 for this. I'm getting paid zero. I'm getting paid zero for this. I have been speaking out against human rights violations. Listen, Pierce, as you can tell, he's not able to actually answer anything that I'm saying. All he does is just attack me and attack my credibility. So I think this shows the viewers exactly where the Nigerian government
is going to keep on insisting that she has not heard the figures. So that's what she's trying to do. Start a war. They want to break up Nigeria the same way they broke up Sudan, and now they've run away. She's not talking about Sudan anymore. She's not talking about South Sudan.
I actually have talked about Sudan in other episodes as well.
For Sudan to be dismembered. This is what they do. What they try to do to Africa. Nigeria is the largest country on the African continent.
And so?
It is the largest shock absorber to the African continent in terms of admitting migrants, in terms of freedom of religion. It's Africa's largest democracy. But people like you,
admitting
who don't
migrants,
really care about freedoms, about the freedoms of either Christians or Muslims or Africans, will continue to agitate for the breakup of Nigeria, for war, the same way that it's happening in South Sudan, and you've kept mum because you've moved on.
The reason that I know that you are working with the Islamic Republic of Iran is because the Islamic Republic puts out the same narrative about balkanization. That balkanization narrative is something that the Islamists constantly use.
That Africans are losing their lives. To you, it's just another black country to be broken up. You don't care who dies.
Your hands are the one that's covered in blood, not mine.
But we've seen you.
Not mine. I'm not denying the Christian genocide, but you are.
It's not going to happen to Nigeria.
Shame on you.
Move on to your next project. Move on to your next. Your disgrace. Your disgrace to the Canadian nation. I'm shocked that you say that you actually practice as a politician in Canada.
Imagine.
Move on to the next episode. Leave us alone.
Well, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed.
This man, that is Fulani for you. That is Takia. They will not allow. They will come and use lie to shut somebody up. But you cannot succeed, because the more you do it, the more you are getting exposed. Lenian has said that this attacking this girl. Ọkwa na asị na Minister of Information na-apụta ọgbọ. I don't know on his life already. Can I play a jingle? It's still his life now. He's on the stage. Okay. He
for joining
said
me.
he's playing Django.
Thanks for having me.
Playing Django. So I don't know if he comes, then we can now switch off. All right.
Thank you.
Today's show is sponsored by OneSkin, which can help all of us look even younger. OneSkin is reading.
This man who is to onye legodi no kono blatantly when I put this girl as you know that they want Africa to break. You people don't want Africa to break, right? But you are bringing people to kill to buy the people so that you will have land. Bringing foreigners in the country, just like he is.
Defining skincare with cult favorites like OS1 Body, Face and Eye, built around their patented OS1 peptide, which is clinically proven to target senescent cells, a key driver of skin aging. Backed by 5 clinical studies, OneSkin products improve skin texture, firmness, with code PEERS. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, so please support our show and tell them that we sent you. ExpressVPN is the simple way to protect your privacy online. In the US, internet providers record your online activity and can sell your data. In many countries, they've even legally required to store your information for years. Along with millions of others, I use ExpressVPN to stop the tracking. It hides your IP address and it routes
Persecution in Egypt. When compared
with regard to, do you believe is the reality of passionate speech beside vpn.com/peers. Well, joining us now is the Reverend Zeke Dachema. Many people saw his passionate speech beside his shallow grave, some of the victims of this persecution, including President Donald Trump. Well, welcome to you, Reverend. It's good to talk to you. Your words clearly had an impact on President Trump. What do you believe is the reality about the situation in Nigeria with regard to the persecution of Christians?
the word of Trump towards Nigeria is quite marvelous, as is comparable to what the Bible says. As Israel was under persecution in Egypt, when there comes another Pharaoh that did not know Joseph, the Israelites went into deep crisis. Their labor was double. It was double. To the stage, God allowed this thing to happen to the stage that they have to cry. When they cry out, Exodus chapter 3 verse 7 came up. God decided to say, it is time, let us go down. I've heard the cry of my people, and let us show concern. Depends on different interpretation of the Bible. But one version says, let us show concern. I have concern for my people in Egypt. I've heard their cry. Let me go down and deliver them from the Egyptian, from slavery. It is same thing with us in Nigeria. All Nigerian Christians have been in bondage right from 2021. In fact, it reached a stage that they have the Islamic terrorists have vowed that Christians should never lead them. 2021, there was organized massacre that cut across every place in the nation, Nigeria. But the media here are downplaying things for themselves. And this is where we are in trouble. I've performed several genocide burial, more than 70 times. Imagine some of the graves are 501 people killed in one night in Dogona, Hawa.
Die neue Küche muss schnell her, aber das Konto ist gerade leer.
Village named Gemburu. The Nigerian government downplayed that one because the Islamic are controlling the government.
So the Nigerian government, if I may just jump in there, the Nigerian government has vehemently denied there is a genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Further, they say a lot of Muslims have also been killed by the likes of Boko Haram for being too moderate, and that therefore the issue of Islamists killing people is not restricted just to Christians, but also to moderate Muslims. What do you say to that?
So let me give you the background of what happened. This is the background with initial fact finding. They created Boko Haram by many that are in hierarchy of the government to remove Goodluck, who is a Christian.
Yes.
This is what happened. They steered them. They caused riot every village. And the people run away. They were relocated. And their target is to kill the Christian. Because Goodluck is a Christian. That's why Goodluck says, my blood is not worthy for other people to die. He voluntarily
his position is not worthy.
And submit and accept result even before it was finished counting. He knows the danger. Had it been Goodluck announced the true result of the election, many Christians in the north will go into the grave. Because it was really declared a jihad. In Borno, they will enter village on Sunday. They will meet people in the church. And they will lock the church building with Christian inside.
Okay, Aderelema, I've heard you. I've seen their message. Thank you. So this, they are just rounding up. I will not go further for my broadcast. So let this one just round up. Then I will close and join the Minister of Information. Thank you so much for the information.
Anybody that is found outside, they will order him to go in. They lock the church. They put Gatling. They set the church building ablaze. All Christians that were inside, including the pastor, the elders, and everybody, were burned to death. This is the report that they will never tell. They move to other village. They will find people in the church. They will bring them out and separate male and female. And all the male, they will assemble them for slaughtering. They will slaughter all of them, including the youth and everybody. And for the female, they will select the female for themselves and divide it among themselves. Sexual harassment will take place.
Reverend Dashwood, if I could ask you,
this is what is happening.
If I could ask you, what is your message to Donald Trump? Because he was very moved by your words. What is your message to him?
My message to Donald Trump should never stop what he's doing, because what he's doing is not his own. Showing concern to Nigerian Christian, it tallies with Exodus chapter 3, verse 7. As God showed concern to Egypt, to Israel in Egypt, the Hebrews, so he has to show concern to us. Let me tell you, there's a genocide in Nigeria. And when it comes, it's not going to be us alone. It's going to help the Muslims. When the Christians in the far north were able to escape to the Middle Belt, what will they left? You hear them saying Muslims are also killed. By who? By Muslims. Because of set differences. Some were trained in Saudi Arabia. Some were trained in Afghanistan. Some were trained in Iran. All of them have different background of belief. They brought it into Nigeria. After there was no Christian in the close by to kill, the blood of innocent Christians that have killed is fighting them. Then they went into fighting each other. The sect of Izala are fighting the Sunni, fighting the Derika. That's why they'll meet them in the mosque and kill them, chanting Allahu Akbar, because of different belief in Islam. And this thing has not been common. It has been happening right from the time of Muhammad. Jihad, sometime at a point, it will end up seeing same people of same faith killing each other. Like today, the ISWAP and the Boko Haram were busy killing each other at Lake Chad. It's not a news anymore.
Well, it's clearly a very...
It's
clearly a serious situation, and it's definitely worthy of more global attention. So, Reverend, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate it.
So, what this man said was true. People don't even know. Ndị mmadụ amaghị this news that when Goodluck won the election that first time, the first regime, that first time we win the election, that ihe gburu na n'ugwu Awụsa abụọkwa obere ihe. Ha gburu ndị mmadụ mmere, and the Goodluck knew that na gburu ndị mmadụ after he won that election. Na gburu ndị mmadụ mmere na o ji wee sizie na the second one na his position does not worth the blood of a Nigerian, of the citizens. So that is what happened. Goodluck, who a man of conscience, but he hụrụ ndị Fulani. The Fulani, jihadists ahụ dị n'obi ka actually carry out, because they have mapped out 2026. No, we have a full effect take you over West Africa, but it will not work for them. Thank you for joining. Adrenaline, Clement, my brother, Roslyn, Biafra Divine. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. So we are ending this broadcast. We had so many things to do, but unfortunately, it is late. We are joining our Minister of Information. I just wanted to finish this broadcast before then, not to hang it. Okay, so thank you all. We are now moving over. Thank you. So we are ending this one right away. Don't go anywhere. Please click the like button as you watch this broadcast. Click the like button, share it, and subscribe it. Let Nigeria be put to shame. Go know how a young Canadian girl, with Minister of Foreign Affairs, war nana, onye Fulani, war ya nana. So let it go viral. Thank you. They won't wait behind for our Minister of Information.